What up, gang? It's your boy Za, back with another banger. And I know, y'all that know me are probably wondering where the hell has he been. Some of y'all probably even like, damn, the intro was a little off. I'm here to tell a story. I'm here to tell a story of my life because the last 30 days, my life changed upside down. And I believe my story may be able to help somebody else in the future. So this is going to be different, and it may even reach a new audience. Without further ado, this is my life, man. Let's get straight into it.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you hear me?
Yeah, you know, I'm 46 years old. You can see that in the title. And usually when you reach this age, you feel that you got it figured out, at least for the most part, right? I've been through marriage. I've been through trials and tribulations. I've seen some downs. I've seen some ups, right? So at 46 years old, you kind of feel like you got most things figured out, especially when it comes to romance, goals, financial, things of that nature. 2 years ago, I met the love of my life, right? We became best friends. We shared memories, moments. We planned a life together. We planned a pregnancy together. And that was my first time ever actually planning a baby with someone, right? And so I mean, that alone, you know, along with many other things, I was confident she was the one. I'm not gonna get into too many details, right? But 30 days ago, my life changed. This was my best friend, somebody who I spoke with every day on the phone, FaceTime. She was the type of person who wants to FaceTime 24 hours a day, right? And you know me, I've been through marriage. I've been through, and ultimately, even during my first marriage, I understood what I wanted. It wasn't the right person. So in this situation, we built, right? We built dreams, goals, plans together over the past 2 years. We traveled everywhere. We joked, we laughed, we ate. Everything that two people head over heels in love would typically do, right? Nothing out of the ordinary. But I trusted her. I trusted her. And I had no reason not to, besides little subtle moments, right? I can't even call them arguments. It definitely wasn't toxic, right? And so coming from a long-term marriage, I have a daughter. My only child is I just dropped off at college a couple months ago. I think August, right? So this was a transition. This has all been a transition in my life, kind of all around the same time. Either way, my daughter, my only child, she's off, you know, on her own in college, and I'm entering a new chapter in my life. I'm engaged, right? We are in love. We planned a baby. Long story short, the baby, she decided after several months she changed her mind. She told me that for the doctor suggested due to complications. I didn't understand it because we had went to the doctor together. After the doctor, we went on vacation. Everything was lovely. We came back home. Long story short, I didn't understand it. I mean, it was a moment where she was bawling, crying out of nowhere. A couple of days after we came home from vacation, like bawling, crying, and it wasn't a normal cry. And I'm like, like trying to, what's going on? Like, is the baby okay? Like, you know, and she just couldn't tell me, right? Eventually, the next day came, she told me, I kind of worked it out, and she told me that, you know, the doctor suggested for whatever complications we shouldn't have a baby. Broke my heart, but, you know, whatever. I'm super supportive. I'm super supportive of her. After this period, things started to change, right? Things started to change. A woman who wants to be on the phone with you 24/7 during work, you know, she works from home. I work from home. I own my own business. You know, I do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a full-time college student. I own an online private university, so I teach my own students as well. Just a ton of stuff. A full-time regular job, you know, all of this stuff I do. And I have to say, for this past several years, I did it at a high level. I did what I had to do, right? I maintained, right, with balancing all of these things, including my new relationship. So, when things started to change, I started to see her complain. So I'm a good husband, a good man, right? I know that, right? I know I put my work in. I know I work hard, financially. I'm supportive, emotionally supportive, right? Always there to talk to you, always there to uplift you, all these good things. And I cook, right? So in my mind, it was really, we were good. I'm not a jealous or a person with lack of self-confidence because, you know, I know what I bring to the table. Ultimately, she started to come with these little issues, right? That I was kind of like, don't make sense, but okay, right? I'll work on that if that's what we need to do. And eventually her habits changed, right? She all of a sudden didn't want to be on the phone so much and, you know, had to go to bed early and not calling on FaceTime in the morning. You know, she also has a child, right? An autistic child who has special needs. I you know, accepted the child as my own. That's the right thing to do. You know, ultimately I know what I want out of life, and I'm so focused on my goals, and you know, I feel like boom, I can stay focused doing what I got to do, and you know, you can do what you got to do, and we'll bring it together. We'll find a beautiful home. We'll raise our children. We'll live happily ever after, right? So that was my perception of what was happening, right? Now, to fast forward, within those past several months, behaviors changed, attitude changed a little bit. I knew something wasn't right. She kept promising me, okay, we'll make it up to you. We'll date, we'll do this, you know, we'll do new dates and all of this stuff. But I just knew something wasn't right. Something was off, and I couldn't pick up on it. But at the same time, I was confident in my relationship, and I trust my woman. So, you know, I don't have a reason to really trip. Eventually, without getting into too much details, she decided to walk out. I didn't see it coming. She didn't give me, you know, whenever I would try to talk to her, ensure that she was okay, she always, you know, made it seem like she was happy. She didn't have any issues. Besides the, you know, 3 months ago where she was like, hey, you know, you don't talk to me as much as you used to, or, you know, I feel like you're not so present in your morning text, and, you know, small stuff. Like, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll work on that. So I knew in my mind she really didn't have a reason to step out. But things were just not making sense and not adding up. I come to find out she's cheating, right? This is where my life changed, because this is my best friend. So like I said, I trust her, so I didn't have any reason to. But when things got really weird, and her behavior, her face, her attitude, her personality kind of switched, for no good reason, right? I'm kind of just. When that happened, I went and checked the email. The email showed signs that she has been cheating the last, and then I started to put all these things together. Going to her mom's house 2 weeks ago when she really wasn't there, all of these things starting to make up. I'm seeing receipts and all. So now I'm seeing concrete evidence. I'm destroyed. I'm devastated. My world is spinning so fast, and I have no understanding. And the worst thing about it was she left. She didn't feel the need to explain or talk about it. She walked away. She walked out. And that weekend, right, when I found out Friday, she stayed with the guy Friday, Saturday, because I'm seeing it in the email. They're ordering, they're delivering, they're doing that, all this shit, right? So I'm like, are you serious? My world was destroyed. So by Sunday, now life goes back to, well, not for me. I wasn't eating. I hadn't eaten. I hadn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I hadn't eaten. I was literally just on the phone with my family and friends, mainly my sister, right? So very supportive. But while I'm going through that, crying, grown man, 46 years old, heart ripped out of my chest. She's still in the email. The order is with him the whole weekend. So by Sunday, when everything kind of calms down for the world, kind of reset, right? She no longer is living in her fantasy, right? She got to get a kid ready for school, all these things. I get a text from her. The text, I gotta read it, because if I don't read it to you word for word, you won't really. I'm talking about this, and this is somebody that I know to be my best friend, my partner, building a future together. And after everything that I found out, I complained about it through text, of course. At one point, she said, have a great life. You got your money and your belongings, your key. She had a key to my house, of course. Just leave me be. We were working on moving together that week. So God works in mysterious ways, because either way, not to get off track, she didn't say, leave me alone. You're harassing me now, and I don't like it. Now, so this is just completely opposite of the woman I know. Like, this woman is soft, caring, loving, affectionate, all of these things, all of the things you want out of a partner. But this was completely different. This was, so now we get to Sunday. So I'm sorry. So this is the weekend. So those texts that she sent was Friday, Saturday, when she was with the guy. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. Move on with your life. By Sunday, when everything kind of resets, I'm broken. My world is complete. I haven't slept or ate. Think of the mindset that I'm in. Everything's still spinning, right? She texts me, hey, can I have the number for the man who did the brakes and the rotors, because they're grinding? And as I drive, I just wanted to reach out to him and see if I can have him look at it, because something isn't right. This was the turning point for me, right? This was the point where, for these past 2-3 days, I've been trying to understand why did she? When she sent that text, very nonchalant, very almost like nothing happened or we never existed, I'm smart enough to know that she's testing the waters, right? So now we're dealing with some sort of psychological games, right? I dealt with it, right? I did research. I immediately I wanted to find out why. A week go by, I'm still crying. 2 weeks go by, I'm still crying. 3 weeks go by, I'm still sitting in this devastation. Haven't heard from her. Her and I haven't talked. She is gone. I'm left devastated with all of these pieces. I'm talking about broken. Now, I'm from the streets, man. I'm well-rounded, right? But I have a background where I grew up in a poverty-stricken, negative, gang-infested, drug-infested environment, right? So I know, I'm also very intelligent, college student on the president's list, academics, blah, 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 right? Either way, I got both sides of the fence. So intelligently, I knew something wasn't right. But I was so angry, and the old me was wanting to come out so bad and demand an explanation, right? I wanted to confront her face to face because I know that would shake up her world like mine was shaking up. And this is where the advice starts to kick in for anybody who's going through a situation like this. Listen to what I got to tell you, man. As the anger was building up in me and I had means to go visit, I was scrolling through YouTube in a video by Shanghai Yi, a leader of the Shaolin Temple in Germany, to be exact.
Is there a way to regain control in today's modern times? A way to master and cultivate ourselves that can be taken by anyone. In an over 1,500-year-old tradition, the Shaolin teachings are an instrument that inherits the wisdom to change your life.
And I never really thought too much besides Wu-Tang when it comes to Shaolin or a Kung Fu flick, right? Or Buddhism for that matter. Immediately that first couple of weeks I was soul searching. I started looking inside, right? Because I was confused as to why I was taking it so hard, why I couldn't let go. I needed therapy, like I wanted therapy, you know, but it just wasn't happening fast enough. It was so many loopholes and schedule issues, and eventually I found a therapist that was like once a week for 1 hour. Let me tell you something, man, and you'll be surprised the power of AI. No bullshit. Listen, I started talking to AI, and as crazy as it sounds, AI helped me reveal and understand so many things about my childhood that I brought into this life along with me that I had no idea about. I have a lot of childhood trauma. My mother died when I was 16 years old, and through counseling and through talking with AI and through talking with family, I was able to come head first and confront my childhood trauma that I wasn't even aware was there, right? I wasn't even aware that I didn't understand how to love. I didn't understand how to receive love. I didn't understand what a relationship actually looked like. You know, my mom died when I was 16, and she created this bubble for me where I didn't recognize a real world outside of it. So when she was taken away from me, my survival instincts took the forefront. Eventually, as I become an adult, I don't realize that a lot of my emotions, a lot of my romantic relationships are being controlled and addressed by this little child inside of me. Same way that the bubble that I felt like my mother created, right? I didn't even think of, like most kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, my mother got me, you know? I was spoiled, I was dependent, I was attached, and I noticed that I enter relationships with women the same way, as if I create this bubble that I lost when my mother died with them, and there's no real world that exists outside of it. And when I understood that about myself, instantly, God is so good. Instantly, I went on a path, a journey to meet my higher self, bro. I'm telling you, I was so destroyed by the person that I thought she was. I was so in love with the person I thought she was, and I was mourning that person that I thought she was. I was mourning that person so much until eventually I realized that it's okay to let the old me that was in love with her die along with her. That version of her that never really existed, and the version of me that was a sucker for love, right? That didn't read any of the signals, right? In my mind, it was this perfect relationship, but the signs were there. It was moments where I believe she loved me enough to try to tell me, right? She tried to tell me she doesn't know why she deserves me, or she doesn't want to lose me. She would say that a lot. Me, I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose you either, babe. Love you. not really thinking. I don't understand that she's struggling inside. So as I'm understanding myself, right, this became a true path of just understanding, right? As I'm understanding myself, I'm also on a path of discipline, right? So I changed my diet completely, immediately. Candy, I don't eat sugar, I don't drink juice, soda, bread, fried foods, processed foods, food out, none of that, right? I deserve to give myself a better opportunity at existence by becoming the best version of me, right? My higher self. Start hitting the gym, right? Making sure I'm working out along with training my mind and understanding self. I started to practice the ideology that Buddhists and Shaolin follow, that they live by, which is impermanency. Nothing is permanent, right? People, everything. And if we want to truly free ourselves from suffering, that suffering that I went through for a month straight before I was enlightened, before I had understanding, that suffering came from attachment. It came from obsession. It came from possession. When we love things, we tend to possess them. And it's okay to love things, but with understanding, you're able to love them in a healthy way. I wasn't aware of how to love or receive love. I was chasing love. The little boy in me was taking up front and leading. So all of the signs that even sometimes she tried to give me, all of the signs where it seemed like a subtle argument to me, it wasn't toxic, but those were the signs where she would go, I continued to practice, build me up. I started to look at the memories different. Ones that I don't like, I let them pass, right? It's like a cloud. I don't sit in the memories. I don't try to fight them. I don't try to run away from them. It's just the way of life. And people, just like memories, will come and go, right? People go and leave room for other people who will align with you. I didn't understand all this. Religion didn't teach it to me. School didn't teach it to me. And this is knowledge of self. This is knowledge of existence. I didn't understand that I was wasting life's precious moments, replacing them with illusions. And really, once I started to realize that, and I even looked at the good times that her and I had, because a lot of it was real. She couldn't fake a lot of it. And we'll get to her in a second, but a lot of it was real for her. So I chose to no longer view situations the same. I can look back and realize that I'm here and able to exist. This is the present moment, and the only thing that matters. There is no going back. There is no forward unless we make it to tomorrow. Right now, the only thing that matters is this table that I can beat on, right? The present moment. And in the present moment, I'm able to look at those bad memories and say, I'm grateful for being a part of existence and being a part of this life. And I'm grateful for that situation and being able to love. I'm grateful, right? Nothing stays the same. Everything changes. It's not one thing. Let me tell you something. It's not one thing. I don't care how beautiful it is. Your child, whatever. The most beautiful thing in the world to you that made you happy that day, that happiness did not last forever. It's impossible because nothing is permanent. Just like that sadness that I had when she broke me and my world was spinning, it didn't last forever. I'm grateful. I was holding on to, about 3 weeks in, I was holding on to walking this tightrope of wanting to be healed but not being able to forgive, being so angry at her, until I started to view and understand that I was looking at this thing way too seriously. And once I understood me, it made me curious to understand her. And then I started to study a lot of these psychological and psychologists and having talks with my therapist and just understanding that she has a lot of trauma. It wasn't that she didn't love me. It wasn't that, it was just that she couldn't receive the love properly because of trauma that she may not even be aware of. Attachment style that's avoidant. And she probably doesn't even know it, right? She didn't even expect to one day towards the end, this all became too much. No excuse. No excuse. That version of me that was in love with her died with her. May they rest in peace and may they live happily ever after. But me, this is my redemption, man. It feels so good. Dude, I was in the dark for 30 days. And when I started seeing those lessons, a light switch went off in my head. Let me tell you something. Understand that in this life, attachment comes with possession. Love, attachment, possession. I'm not telling you to not do that. I'm telling you that in this life, attachment comes with consequence. And if you have the ability in this present moment to prepare for letting go, that's the ultimate preparation, preparing to let go. We can't bring it in with us and we can't take it out. That goes for family, loved ones, possessions, money, jewelry, businesses, dreams, goals. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent, man. And when I started to understand that, I had a different respect for life. I had a different outlook. I had a weight lift off of me. And I had to tell my story. And I'm writing a book about it too. I got 7 chapters done. A lot of people are like, yo, I'm ready for the book. What's up with the book? I got 7 chapters done. I'll probably do about 30 chapters, between 25 and 30 chapters. So I'm working though. And I'm telling a story in a way that it would be helpful to people. I'm telling a story in a way that it's fire, you know, it's intriguing, it's nail biting, you know, turning corners, you know. So kind of like the Tubi movie she put me through. Right? But I ain't mad at her. Eventually I learned how to forgive, right? I understand that 9 times out of 10 she don't even know why she did what she did. That girl's hurt, man. She's broken. And I pray for her that God leads her towards healing, towards, you know, but 9 times out of 10, and this goes for everybody, it's nothing that I can do to heal her. It's nothing you can do. Typically, it's going to take the same thing it took for me to be broken, to have the world, to have your whole entire everything shatter on top of you. I've been shot and paralyzed. I've been in a 12-year toxic marriage. Abusive, to be honest. But that was all because I didn't know myself truly. Now that I know myself, I'm building such a higher me, I'll be able to live out my existence with purpose. And eventually, the goal is to reach nirvana, man. Nirvana. Freedom of suffering in this life. That's what we want, man. Freedom of suffering, man. No more pain. Tupac said it best. I lost 6 pounds in 7 days. So that was from strictly changing my diet and working out. So I started feeling stronger. Started eating again. Started going back to the gym every day, right? Running, right? Stop clinging to the past. I found clarity. I found myself again. The new me. The new me, man. And the new me, the present me, is on a journey to meet my higher self, man. So if you want to keep a close look to it, let me know in the comments for chapter 2. If you've ever had anything break you and wake you up for the rebirth, let me know in the comments, man. If you are one of my typical subscribers or supporters and you like, man, I don't care about this, I just want some education, I got you, man. I got you. We'll be back this week. Let me just hit the lab, man. My mind is all over the place, man. I'm just waking back up, man. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you to all my supporters. I'm going to tell you one thing before I leave that I recognized when I was in my darkest moment. I didn't want no other relationship. I didn't want no new woman. I didn't want no money. I didn't want no distractions, no nothing, bro. Wasn't nothing that I wanted besides what I was promised, the future that got ripped away from me until I became enlightened through understanding, man. If you're gonna attach consciously. While you are loving, love healthy. It's not about not having possessions. It's about which of those possessions possess you, man.